Shalom, everybody. This is Tzipporah Ibrim from artisticministry.net, and I just wanted to do this is hopefully this will be a brief video. It's a reaction to a video that I just watched about someone interviewing a quote unquote gang stalker, and there was a lot of just insensitivity towards the experience that we're dealing with as victims, as targeted individuals, or as I prefer to call them, or as we're referred to on my ministry, which is empowered individuals, and also just an insensitivity to people who are dealing with mental health issues. And again, I'm not going to put the link or the title to the actual video because I'm not going to promote that video in any way. But again, like I just said, the title is clickbait enough, and it basically it's the title has which is creating the clickbait is that they're interviewing some type of gang stalker. Just put those words in the search bar and you'll find the video soon enough. It's a video that's only 2 to 3 minutes long. It's not very long, but what I saw was just really I was shocked. It took me maybe like a few seconds to get that this was a joke, that they were making a joke of this situation. And I of course immediately I put I did something in the comment section, but I wasn't even satisfied with that, and I just decided that I was going to just do a reaction to this. And the other reason I'm doing this, which kind of goes hand in hand with this, is that I had watched the video before that by it's a sister who has a channel that she's really good videos, a lot of support, a lot of insight and information, just a lot of just a really good video. And her channel is called God is Our Protector, and she did this video. I think it was, I'm going to say, within just the past few days. But the title is called I think it's called Why Should We Expose Our Targeting? I'm not too sure on the title. I might be getting the words mixed up, but it talks about, what is the importance of or why should we expose our targeting? What do we get out of it? And again, one of the reasons why we should do this is because of this video by these insensitive, cruel individuals who did this short little video. We're dealing with something that has literally changed the fabric of our lives. We have lost family behind this. We have lost friends and loved ones. We have literally just suffered on so many levels, okay, and been victimized on so many levels, and suffer, some of us, depending on the severity of the attacks, the severity of the direct energy beam weapons, the stuff that they are literally leveling against us. Many have like health deterioration, and or up to and including losing our lives, because that's one of the quote unquote what you would probably call one of the good things, or about gang stalking, is that because it is so subtle, because is one of the names for it is touchless torture. Because it's kind of got this hands-off approach, that someone can be killed behind this, and you can't prove it. There is no category, okay, under cause of death. There's no, gang stalking is not listed as an official cause of death that I'm aware of in any coroner's office. But somebody who's dealing with this, one of the protocols that they use against us is brightening. That's where they come up behind you in your car and flash their brights at you, and swerve around you or come towards you and flash the lights at you, their headlights at you. And it can be so severe and so sudden that you could literally veer and run off the road, or run into somebody, or end up injuring yourself or even dying. But the category, when the coroner puts cause of death, they're not going to put a brightening protocol of gang stalking. It's not going to be there. You can it's really serious what we're dealing with, and yet these individuals on this small clip, this video that they did, I'm going to guess, okay, by the insensitivity, okay, that these are the individuals who didn't do a lot of research, didn't do any deep dives, okay, into targeting, into gang stalking, where it comes from, what are these people saying, how many different, races this is affecting, genders it's affecting. They didn't do that. They probably, I'm going to guess, maybe watched a few videos by individuals who maybe talked about it in some way that was that they somehow came away with thinking of it as a joke, and then did their video. And I'm man, I have a problem with that. And so again, this is my response to this. And the video that was done on the channel Our God is Our God is Our Protector. She's listing. She lists. I think she was responding to something that she had seen on a on a feed. I think it was why we should expose our targeting. And I think that one of the reasons why is because of stuff like this, to 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 offer a counter or to be a pushback to these people who are that insensitive to do some video that just has no support, that is just that is hurtful and harmful. Because think of the number of people who watching this video are going to come away from it thinking that this is a joke, and they can make a joke about us and laugh at us. And the very end of this video that they do, where they interview this quote-unquote gang stalker, he's talking about how, yeah, this is a mentally ill person that they're stalking, and there's about 50 or 60 of them, and the interviewer's like, wow, 50 or 60 of you, wow, that's a lot. Oh yeah, well, this is really necessary, yeah, and you're taking pictures of them. Oh yeah, and he pulls out a cell phone and he kind of like scrolls through, and shows like it had to have been at least I'm gonna say 50 to 75 different pictures. He's like, yeah, we're taking pictures of him, yeah, we're harassing him, we're stalking him, he's got some mental health issues. And then the very last thing that he says is, oh yeah, and we're gonna kill him. And the video ends. Now, that is, for many of us, that is that right there. I mean that and I scrolled through the comment section, and I think only one or two people literally said, this is, I can't believe this is kind of cruel what you're doing. Most of them are like, ha ha ha, it is. I mean, they really didn't get it. But one or two of them did, and one of them talked about said that it was insensitive or it was cruel what he was doing, and literally shared that he has a friend who literally did try to commit suicide behind the mental health issue that she was dealing with, that included paranoia, a fear of being killed by some people. I mean, it's just the insensitivity. Okay, and I just, again, I couldn't believe it. Again, and I'm not going to put the channel or the video link to that. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to give them any promotion, but you'll find it. Just put it in there, just get up in the search bar, and just put up in there some words about interviewing gang stalkers, and I'm sure it'll come up and you'll find it yourself. But I think that that's one of the reasons why we do need to, along with what the sister is saying on the channel, God is Our Protector, along with what she's saying, we do need to expose this, because one of the reasons why is that we're not going to keep the secrets. We're not going to help keep the secret. Okay, because that's one of the reasons that it works, is because we are silenced. Because it is so hard to prove, we end up being silenced behind people not understanding what we're talking about, thinking that we're maybe being delusional, thinking that we are we're hallucinating, we're exaggerating, maybe we just need to get more rest, maybe we need to stop drinking so much or using so much drugs. And they think of it in that regard. They don't get how real and serious this is. And so because of that, nobody wants to be exposed. No one wants to be considered quote unquote crazy or have mental health issues. So we keep silent, we keep quiet, we don't say anything, and we suffer in that silence, and that works in their favor. So when you don't expose what you're dealing with, you are helping to keep the secret, and you're basically and trust me when I say this, you are contributing to your own oppression. You are complicit with it. You are helping them. They don't want you to talk about it. They don't want anybody else to know what you're doing, because people might take you serious. They might give you support. They might help you out, and then that makes their job difficult. Okay, this is a war. This is a spiritual war. Okay, and so they want, the idea in a war is to literally defeat your enemy on all levels, to cut off all resources. And so that's, silence works for them. It doesn't work for you. It works for them. And also the reason that you want to do it is to be a counter to like these individuals who did this scathing, callous, insensitive video. You're exposing what you're dealing with will be a counter to that. It will be a pushback to that. There needs to be more of your videos where you're talking about, when you and I, where we're talking about what it is that we're dealing with, than there are those who are sitting up there making fun of us, doing videos being insensitive to what we're dealing with, where these people have almost literally driven us off the road. okay, where they have literally stalked us and tormented and intimidated us and used witch stalking, and tormented us on the supernatural level, where we literally, I mean, do have mental health issues, where it does, depending on the person, especially if you are not covered by the blood of Master Yahushua, who most people call him Jesus. If you're not covered by his blood, there you can deal with all of a sudden suicidal ideation. You can all of a sudden find yourself dealing with alcoholism or addiction, trying to in some way thwart or diffuse the fear, the anxiety, where they're messing with your reality, where they're coming into your home and they're purposely moving things around, taking the batteries out of the remote control, doing things that just make you question your reality to the point that you become hyper vigilant, where you do have a hard time sleeping. And then add on top of that the noise campaigns. I mean, this stuff, if you're not covered by the blood of the Lamb, then yeah, you can suffer some severe mental health issues behind this. You can suffer alcoholism and a drug addiction, trying to find some way, some type of a relief. Okay, but I'm here to tell you that that's not going to work. Your relief is the refuge of Jesus. Okay, your refuge is the scriptures. That's where your refuge is. But yeah, we need to expose this to so that we don't become complicit in what it is that they're doing to us. And I just wrote some notes here. When you do expose what it is that you're dealing with, as hard as it is, okay, and as long as it takes, try to make sure that your videos or your blog post, or however you do it, make sure that you're tactful, that you're logical, that you're calm when you in your presentation, that you provide as many factual references as you can. um, and the other thing that I want to say is don't become married to the result, in the sense that because if you do an emotional investment in it, and you don't get the expected results, where you're not all of a sudden being called by ABC News and they want to interview you, and you don't have all of a sudden 1,000 people sending comments and talking about how now you just changed their day and now they know this and they didn't know it before, and if it doesn't happen that way, okay, don't get discouraged. Okay, that's what I mean when I say don't marry the results. That's what I mean by that. Um, and it is hard, but it has to be done. And another reason why it has to be done is because our Messiah, he prophesied that it would be done, which is why, believe it or not, some of these channels, like I just mentioned, that Gang-Stalking show, God is Our Protector. There's Judah J. I mean, these individuals who are doing this, they're confirming, they're fulfilling what the Messiah said. And let's turn to that. What he promised. This is in the book of the New Testament, in the book of Luke, chapter 12, starting with verse 2, verses 2 and 3. What does he say? He says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed." There it is. They want to sit up here and do it in secret, in the shadows. It's not good. It's good. It will be revealed. He prophesied that it would happen, and it is happening. Which is why I did that video, some of the protocols of gang stalking. And if I can remember, I will put the link to that video down in the description box as well. But literally, he says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in the darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops." Okay, and that's what's happening. The fact that we're doing these videos, it's happening. And literally, when you look at that, proclaimed from as it says, how do you say that? Shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. We're the most satellite dishes. Where do they sit? They sit on the roof of a house, on the roof of an apartment building. Some of them are in someone's front yard, but the majority of them are up on rooftops. And that signal that's carrying that transmission of this video and your videos is going from rooftop to rooftop to rooftop. It's being proclaimed from the rooftop. So this is we're fulfilling that prophecy. That's why you do it. That's another reason why you do it. And also to be a support and a help to the community, to someone who is dealing with this, who might stumble upon your video, and maybe they didn't have any idea of that there was a name for what it is that they were dealing with. They really thought that they were alone and they didn't understand what was going on. But now with you sharing what you're dealing with, you might help them. That's why you do it. Yeah. So I just wanted to, and I get it. The other thing that I'm going to say is I know that proving that we are, okay, I tried to write this down. Proving that we are targeted individuals is no different than proving is no different than proving a lot of other invisible encounters. Okay, and that includes religious experiences. For those of us who are messianic believers, who are Bible based. Even if you're not messianic, but if you're Bible based, we know that it's how do you prove the fruits of the Spirit? How do you prove that? Okay, it's not like there's a video that I just watched on that gang stalking show where he literally put the a video that from a couple that was dealing with gang stalking, the tactic noise campaigns, and he was someone this couple, they had the means, literally the financial means, and the connections to literally get security cameras around their house, and they were able to literally record cars going by literally honking their horns, and so much so that he was able to take these individuals to court, have that connection, have that financial means and the wherewithal to make the connections to take these people to court, and got the media involved. And the media was all, well, let's bring you guys together and have a sit down, and it was brought to the light. Okay, but again, what the Messiah prophesied, and so that was an incident where that gang stalking tactic didn't work in the favor of that community that organized it and were going against him. But many of us, that's we're not that lucky. Okay, but we because we're trying to prove something that is, for the most part, it is invisible. If no one is there to see it, if you can't prove it, then it might as well, in the eyes of most people, it doesn't exist. And but we know that this gang stalking, that this goes back. This isn't just a new phenomenon. This goes back to those countries that were using it in Eastern Europe, in before the wall came down. In what they call the Iron Curtain, they were using that, and it was adopted and taken. And now it's part of the FBI tactics that they use against for counterintelligence. They used it against the Black Panthers. They used it against AIM. They've used it against many grassroots organizations that they considered anti-establishment. Those same tactics they used against them. We know that you can look in the Bible. We know that King David was being gang-stalked by King Saul. We know that the Messiah himself was a victim of gang stalking. We know that that in the book of Acts we read the encounters of what the apostles were dealing with when they went throughout the area of the Mediterranean area, how they were followed from city to city, how they were being stalked. We know this goes back. I mean, King David even spoke about it in the book of Psalms. You can read it, Psalm 64, where he talks about that. He asked the Most High to hide him from the secret counsel of the wicked. That secret counsel, those would be the gang stalkers. Those would be the ones who were organizing the harassment, who were going out and recruiting the individuals. Okay, from what urchins, street urchins, beggars, giving them a few shekels, a few coins to do this, to maybe put this red piece of clothing here or this green piece of clothing, whatever the color is that they were using, to go by the individual and whisper and mutter something. I mean, that's that secret counsel, the people who are organizing that. And he talks about in Psalm 64 verse 5, he talks about the fact that they're snares, okay, which would be the brightening, which would be the noise campaign, which would be the synchronicity, which would be the color coding. Those snares, they talk about how they get emboldened by the fact that, and they say, who will see them? Because most people, they're not going to clue into that. They're not going to pay attention to that. That an individual who is standing there, and somebody every time, like every third or fourth person that comes by them whistles or or coughs in their direction, and they all just happen to all have on a piece of an article of clothing that's the same color, and put two and two together and figure out what's happening to that person. Most people don't. They're so caught up and distracted by their own lives that they don't pay attention to that. They don't slow those things down, the events that are happening around them, to see them. So they're invisible to them. And David is saying that one of the things that they literally say is, who's going to see it? Literally, Psalm 64. If you get a chance, Psalm 64. Let me just read that part to you real quick. But this is, you can find, this is what they did to many of the prophets of the Hebrew Israelites. Let's see, what does it say? Psalm 64, here, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. And in that instant, perfect means the righteous. Okay, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. And that shooting means that's the snare, what they do to them. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. This goes deep. What they're doing. Again, I do a whole breakdown on this. I'll put the link in there. Check out that video, some of the protocols of gang stalking. But again, we do need to expose this. We do need to, as hard as it may be, we do need to expose what it is that we're dealing with. Because one is, we're not going to help them keep secrets. We're not going to keep secrets for them, which works in their favor. Those who are stalking us, we're not going to keep secrets and help them out. We're also going to do this because it's going to help out other victims, other empowered individuals who are dealing with this, who probably don't even know what it is that they're dealing with. They don't know the names of it. They might think that they're alone, that somehow they are starting to question their own reality and thinking that they are dealing with a mental issue, and they're not dealing with a mental issue. This is going on. So that's another reason to do it. And two, just to provide some type of a reaction or pushback to individuals like those insensitive fellows who did this, the video on their quote-unquote interviewing a gang stalker. That's why you do it. But again, I want to just keep this brief. But there you go. Yeah, I know it's been a while since I've been on. Just remember my ministry. It's called Artistic Ministry. I'm providing creative platforms that share the good news, promote the good news of the Messiah. So in order to do some of those creative projects, I need to get offline, turn off the cell phone, and just be in front of my easel, be at my drawing table, be at my computer writing out my projects and such. So that's why I haven't been around. But I'll try to do a few more videos. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I hope this video has inspired and can help you guys out. And with that, I say shalom.